Coach, looking at the running back room, Miles Montgomery and Corey Kiner especially, do you see a guy being the bell cow in that situation, or is that really going to be a two-headed monster throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably going to be, a little bit by committee, the way I would see it. Those guys are going to need to stay healthy as well, as we go back and look and, guys getting dinged here and there, particularly in that room, over my career coaching, backs tend to get banged up a little bit, because they are carrying the ball, and particularly for us, we're going to want to run the football, so they're going to have opportunity to get hurt, and hopefully they'll stay healthy. And then, we have two or three other guys we feel like they can go in there as well. But, I mean, they'll probably be the two main guys, and then we'll just see how it pans out. I think in August camp is going to be really big for us in a lot of positions. We're going to have to come together, particularly as an offense, find really good roles for everybody to figure out what their role may be on the team, and then work through all that, because we're all new basically on offense, with one returning starter. So I think we do have some talent. We do have some pieces to the puzzle there up front and as well as a receiver. Running back room is really the one room that kind of stayed intact, but I do think there's a lot of potential there.
Coach, speaking of camp, I know you're new the first year, but looking at the camp higher ground experience and what it's going to bring for you guys, how is that different from other programs you've been a part of?
Well, I've never been a part of anything like higher ground. I was able to go out there and tour in the spring, kind of look at all the grounds, and and then Whittakin, our DFO, really, that's kind of been his baby for the last 20-some years, and and he told me the stat. I don't know what it. Basically, they went to one bowl game before going to higher ground, and then all the other bowl games were when they started going to higher ground. So you just come together as a football team out there. We'll be out there a couple of weeks, and we're there. You're practicing, you're meeting, you're lifting weights, you're training, you're doing all those things, and we're there as one big family. And I think that's where you become a team, and I think that's particularly for us. New staff, new players, all that. We really need that more than anything. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us to become really tight as a football team, and knowing that we're going to face adversity. And if you're that tight, then you're able to come through it on the other side.
Dante and Juwan really emphasized the culture that is being built here at Cincinnati. You're in your first year. You briefly talked about Camp Higher Ground. What were some things you've heard about Higher Ground, and how excited are you to get out there?
Well, number one, I heard the food is really good. They really feed you a lot. The guys are saying they actually gain weight, out there in those couple of weeks. But, the people that run the Higher Ground, they really love Cincinnati football, and they really take care of their players and the staff while you're out there. And then the players also said it's hard. You're out there, it's a grind. It's football from the time you get up, time you go to bed, and we'll try to have some fun in the middle of all that. But I think more than anything, we're out there to get work done. We're going to be meeting a lot, practicing a lot of walkthroughs. But there's no distractions. Talk to the players. There's no distractions, and I think that those 2 weeks are going to be very critical and special for us and our team as we move forward.
Neil Brown addressed being 14th. You didn't care for it. Did you address your team about being 14th?
I mentioned it yesterday before we left, and they kind of moaning and groaning. They're like, "Oh, okay, we're going to, basically we're going to show them." And I think what it does, obviously you can use it in a number of different ways, but when you're picked toward the bottom, then every single day you train, you have to train like you're trying to prove something. And that's what our guys have been doing this summer. They're putting the work in. I can tell you that. I mean, they're working their tails off, weight room, on the field, in practices that they're putting on themselves. Obviously nobody wants to be picked toward the bottom, even though preseason polls don't matter. You don't want to be picked. You want to be picked toward the top, right? I mean, that's where we want to be. It's more important to be at the top at the end of the season, though, not necessarily the beginning. I understand. Hey, we got one returning starter on offense. We're new to the league. Probably why we didn't get picked very high. But anything we do, we want to be at the top.
Coach, not too many players who are incoming transfers are here representing their teams at Big 12 Media Day, but you have Emory Jones here. What does that say about what you've learned from working with him?
Yeah. Well, I think Emory, number one, is very humble. He came in January, not coming in to, try to take anybody's job or do any of that to try to be the man. I mean, he come in to work. He came in and just started working with all the guys. He earned their respect. pretty quickly. And, that quarterback room, even in the spring, Ben Bryant was there before he left to go to Northwestern, but during the spring, man, they were trying to help each other, compete, and that's what you want to see as a coach. And Emory's, he's that team player. And, when you have a quarterback like that, the guys around him, they want to play for him. They want to do good and help him out. And so, I think it speaks volumes for Emory to be able to come here and represent our school and our football team here just today and this Big 12 Media Days. So it speaks a lot about Emory's character. The fact that he's been at Florida and Arizona State and played in front of huge crowds and all that, nothing phases him. He's very poised, and I think we all like that about him as being your leader.
Do you expect him to be a part of the running game more than he was at Arizona State last year? I know he didn't use his legs near as much.
I think we'll, as we start the season and we'll put our game plan together, whatever is going to give us the best chance to move the football and ultimately score, then that's what we're going to do. He can throw it, but he also can run it. And I do know, this spring he didn't run it as much this spring. He's working on, throwing the football with his receivers and stuff. But I do think in the fall we're certainly going to utilize his legs. You can go back to some of his games, particularly in Florida, where he had some really good rushing days. But he can run. He's one of the faster guys on our team, actually.
Brady Trophy. Go ahead.
What sets Cincinnati apart from the other teams in the Big 12 that you'll be facing this season?
As far as the football team goes, I think that the one thing about it probably, it's a negative for us, but it's a negative for them too. They don't really know what we have. They don't know anything about our players, how we do things. It's going to be new for them. These guys that have been playing in this league, they obviously know each other. They got history. They don't have any history with us, and they've probably never come to play at Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati. It's a tough place to play, and so I think we're certainly got to use a lot of that to our advantage. They don't know a lot about our players or how we do things offensively and defensively. So all those things, we'll use that to our advantage, and I think that's probably the biggest difference.
Brady Drogish and Barry Jackson were two true freshmen that looked really good in the spring game.
Yeah.
What has their progression been like over these past 4 months?
Really good, really good. Barry came back and picked up where he left off at the end of spring practice. I'm very impressed with Barry. He's a bigger, slot receiver, but he can run, and he's learning, continuing to learn the offense. I really feel like he's going to help us this year. Drogosh has continued his development as well, and Drogosh, I feel like, is a gamer. Like some guys look really good in practice. Some guys look really good when the lights come on. I think he's going to be that guy when the lights come on. He's going to be really good. His body, he looks awesome. I mean, he's 212 pounds now. Really bulked up. Can run. I mean, he can really run. He'll be a hard guy to tackle within our dual threat as a quarterback. But he also has a big arm. The thing he's continue to work on is accuracy. That's what he's got to continue to work on, and just learning the offense. But he's getting better and better. I'm excited about working with him in August. See where he falls in the depth chart as we start playing.
Aaron Turner has a really unique skill set.
Mm-hmm.
How do you foresee using him? Kind of in the hybrid running back role, just a slot position?
Yeah, I mean, we hadn't had a chance to work with Aaron a lot, since he just got here this summer. But, right now it's going to be more in the slot. We'll see how that, we like to do things with that slot, motion them back in the backfield, do some jet sweep stuff, some getting in pitch phase in the option game off the orbit motion. So all those things he'll be really good at. So that's something we'll see it throughout August camp.
For the opportunity to go up against a longtime friend in Matt Campbell this season, just walk us through your relationship with him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I first met Matt Campbell a long time ago. He was at Mount Union when I was at App State, back in the early 2000s, and he was a really good young coach back then. Kept in contact, and then we both worked together at Toledo in 2009 as co-coordinators there, and tremendous amount of respect for Matt Campbell. He's one of the best coaches in the country, and he does things right. And we've been good friends for a long time. It'll be a little bit different when he's coming up to play us there in Cincinnati, but got a lot of respect for him and what he's been able to accomplish at Iowa State. I mean, he's done a tremendous job there, and so it'll be fun. We go play. I know he's going to try to kill us. We're going to try to kill him. So it'll be a battle for sure.
For anyone who's
Does that make them professional? Should they be treated as such? Are they still student athletes even though they're making money?
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to the football piece, they're still football players. They're still training just like everybody else, and you know, that side, you know, there's a business side of things, and then there's the football side of things. And so, as a football coach, I'm really focusing on the football side of things. You know, I don't have my head in the sand to know that the business side is not there. You know, we try to do a lot of things and put things in place to help that side of it. You know, with education, you know, we think about accounting now. You know, if you're starting to make money, you have to pay taxes. You know, bringing in financial, you know, have financial workshops and those type things. We do that for our players, and those things happen, you know, in the off season. You know, but when it's time to work, and it was with our team, when this summer it's time to work. So all that stuff is, you don't even mention it, you don't even hear it. We don't even hear about it. It's all about ball. It's all about training. It's all about getting better as individuals and football teams. I think a lot of that stuff is more, you know, off-season stuff that gets talked about, and you know, so it's all ball at this point.
What excites you most about playing a team like Oklahoma going into this upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, I just think probably just the history of Oklahoma. You know, you think about how many great players they've had over the years, Heisman Trophy winners. They, you know, competed at a high level for a long, long time, and for them to be coming to our stadium and playing in front of our people, I mean, that's going to be a great atmosphere. You know, and a great opportunity, a chance for us to go get a big win. That's our first Big 12 game, and you know it'll be a great challenge for us. But our guys will be looking forward to that. You know, it's going to be very, very exciting.
I heard you talking to Brett earlier about kind of the different feel that this has here today, just kind of this day. What's the parallels you kind of draw between the ACC and Big 12? And does this feel a little bit different?
Yeah, it feels different. I mean, you know, this venue here is pretty spectacular. This is my first time being in here. It's awesome. You know, with the video board, you can't help but notice that. The light that comes in. You know, I think about our players that aspire to play, you know, at stadiums like this at the next level. You know, it's where they all want to be. You know, it's a great event. You know, it seems much bigger. You know, I mean, you know, the first word in Big 12 is big, and that's what feels big to me. You know, and you know, in ACC, we're at a hotel in Charlotte. You know, and it wasn't like this. You know, and so this has been really neat. It's really neat for our student athletes to be able to come and experience this, to get around all this. You know, because, you know, all these student athletes that are here today are, you know, obviously have done some great things for their universities, and to be able to experience this and come see all this, I think that's it's awesome for them to be able to see it. So, I mean, we're very excited. I think events like this just, you know, it just adds to it. You know, you're just like, man, okay, this is going to be cool as we start getting into this Big 12 and, you know, flying and playing teams from all over the country. It's going to be really neat. So yeah, I think what it's going to have, our guys are going to go back and tell the players when they get back, saying, yeah, this is going to be a very cool experience.
As your team works to prove themselves this upcoming season, what are some of the key things that you are working on for you and your guys?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we want to be very fundamentally sound. I mean, when it comes to tackling, you know, as a lost art in football, you know, how can we get better at tackling and you know, taking care of the football, so throwing and catching, you know, offensively, you know, obviously changing their bodies, you know, putting on good muscle and weight and all those type things. But we're working on a lot of the little things, you know. I think that's going to be the difference in winning and losing, you know, with the little things and really having that toughness, that grit, that fight. I mean, we got to continue to have that. That's what Cincinnati's known for. We got to continue to be able to do that.
For anyone who's unsure, just how would you describe your coaching and leadership style on and off the field?
Yeah, you know, I think for me, I want to hire, number one, good people in our organization, and then allow them to do their job. We want to recruit outstanding student athletes and then allow them to do what they're called to do. And that's why I believe in a player-led team. You know, we're as coaches, we're, you know, kind of guiding the ship, but these guys are running it. And we give them autonomy, we give them ownership, and then they take off with it. And we got some really good leaders on our team that do things the right way. And so, you know, that's kind of my leadership style. I'm more of, you know, get the right people in the right seats and then let them do their work.
Have you found any pressure to rebuild your roster, the portal quickly, and not, you know, take new recruits and build them up and develop them over years, especially with the reputation Cincinnati's been in the past couple years?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I want to get great players. I mean, I'd love to get out of high school ranks. We were in a situation this past all season where we had to get some players, and the portal was where we had to go get them. And as we move forward, we'd hope not to get that many in the portal. We'd love to be able to, recruit, right around our backyard and get a lot of great players, and then grow them and develop them into great football players. That's what Cincinnati's done for years, and have great success doing that. So we got to be able to continue to do that.
You obviously came in the midst of the transition into the Big 12. Have you kind of found yourself feeding off the excitement of this change from maybe people in the athletic department, players that have been here for 3-4 years?
Well, I think the whole university's feeding off of it. It's exciting time. We're going to we got a great seat at a Power 5 table now in a great conference, and it's a lot of excitement throughout our city and our university. The buzz on campus, all our programs are using it in recruiting. The things that we're doing on campus now with this unbelievable new indoor facility and performance center that we're building right now. I mean, it's incredible, and so we're all feeding off of that. And those are the type things that are going to propel us forward to have a great success in the Big 12.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
thanks, guys.